Hi everyone, it's Four Corners, and today I wanted to talk about Ninjago's Prime Empire. Now, it's currently my favorite season, and there's a lot more personalized reasons for that. I definitely don't expect everyone to have those same reasons since they change with every person. But two specific reasons out of those many are more broad-scoped ideas that aren't really specific to me. And they happen to be the same key to making sure Ninjago as a show can stay fresh for years to come. Reason one is it's the only Ninjago season to not use any lore whatsoever. And the second reason is it doesn't have any character arcs for the ninja, or any big ones. At first glance, those actually look like negative points more than positives. In reason one, I said Prime Empire lacks lore or a huge flashback, when we as fans tend to love stories that take place long before time had a name. And the second reason, I mentioned how I love Prime Empire not having much character arcs for the ninja to go through. But most of the time, seeing the ninja figure their problems out and becoming the best versions of themselves is the most wholesome thing to see. And I'm one of those fans who completely loves all that backstory and character moments. So you might be wondering how these two reasons can possibly be positives and moreover a key to ensuring Ninjago feeling fresh as a series for years to come. Elaborating my first reason, every Ninjago season prior to Prime Empire had heavy backstory as a crutch for the plot. Some could argue Sons of Garmadon did its thing all alone, but even that season introduced some pretty heavy topics like the First Realm and the Odi mess. And honestly, as a show that's been going for so long, I can't see Ninjago staying fresh if they kept making stuff up every season. Some seasons did quote-unquote make stuff up better, like The Legend of Firstborn and Hunted, versus something that felt a little bit more forced, like Wu suddenly saying that the Time Twins existed in Hands of Time. But nonetheless, it was clear that too much of something, even if you love it a lot, like Ninjago lore, was going to become the show's bane at some point. You can't have a show that's been running for 10 years and keep making a new ancient story that apparently existed the entire time every season. It was charming back in the day, but for the foreseeable future, I don't see Ninjago staying relevant with that. That's where Prime Empire came in. It was a mystery season that had the villain building in front of her very own eyes. He wasn't connected to the first Spinjitzu master or Wu, he was something new. Unfinished Adventure Game 1, Unagami. The farthest back the season went was around 30 years to show when Milton Dyer made the game, but I really can't count that in the same books as a normal Ninjago backstory. Even Unagami's side henchman, the mechanic, was someone we'd seen grow through the ranks through the show's run. And that's kind of the case with Harumi in Sons of Garmadon. She was a product of something the ninja did throughout the show's run. Ninjago finally used its biggest weakness, being its age and all the cliches that come with it, then converted it into a strength by making a story using some of that 10 years of content. And it's a very unique thing to Ninjago because only a show that's been running for that long can pull from its own canon timeline. Coming over to my second reason, it exists for almost the same reasons as the first. Every season forced the ninja to have a flaw and overcome that somehow to become a better person. Sometimes they're done really well and sometimes it's clear they're forced. And they feel forced sometimes because at one point, characters figure out most of their character flaws. They stop acting rash and come to their true potential. However, Prime Empire comes in with this genius idea that we still see being used a few seasons later. We met characters like Okino and Racer 7 who were flawed so the ninja don't have to be. Instead of Kai being sad he was stuck in a game, it was Okino because Kai's been in much worse digital worlds before. He isn't forced to overcome that obstacle again. Or instead of Lloyd worrying about losing the Speedway 5 billion, we have Racer 7 to carry those feelings. I'm not saying a season shouldn't have these character arcs for the ninja. I actually think quite the opposite. A season needs characters overcoming obstacles and that emotional grip to have me invested in the story they're telling, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the ninja. Back in the day, a character arc was easy because their ninjas were still imperfect. Kai was hot-headed and had no discipline until Master Wu set him straight. But nowadays, 10 years later, the writers have to try really hard, like make a Harumi to really shake someone up like Lloyd. So character arcs with the ninja can exist, but if the writers want emotion and it doesn't make sense for the ninja to learn a lesson there, they can craft a new side character. Most recently in Crystalized, we had Sally to teach us the benefit of grief instead of Kai going out of character to get Zane back. Definitely room for refining there to make things even more immersive. I'm not saying Prime Empire did it perfectly, and actually the first half of Crystalized might be the perfect version of that. Maybe the video game idea was a little shallow for some of you, But the first half of Crystalized tells a story completely on its own with no backstory. We got new ninja, we got the new Vengestone mystery, all good stuff. Season 11 came before Prime Empire, and it kinda did that with little Nelson and Antonia, but again, I'd like to see more refining there as well. So Prime Empire is great for many reasons, but its location in the grand perspective of the Ninjago series really gives seasons like Seabound and Crystalized more value because those powerful character arcs that ninja are meant to go through were saved for the moments where it makes more sense. Every season doesn't have to be on this grand scale of drama and lore to be good, and by doing so it just makes the seasons that have the drama and lore hold more value because less is more. Thank you for watching a Prime Empire video. I really appreciate you sticking till the end, and I love to read any extra thoughts you might have in the comment section down below. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.